Last time we talked about being the emotionally intelligent spouse, and I gave you some examples. I walked you through kind of what's worked for me recently, but I wanted to give you some specific ways because I get a lot of feedback from people that say, how do you or how should I? And then I get some people who say to me on Twitter, they'll message me because it's easier to get me there. It's Infidelity Scars. That's the Twitter handle. They'll say, I never really comment, I never really ask questions, but how do you? And so let me give you some examples of how you can become emotionally intelligent about your spouse. Now, again, there's a bent to the fact that I am a former unfaithful spouse, but this will work for both of you. Number one, educate yourself on your spouse's world. Get to know their job. Get to know their struggles at home if they don't work. Become aware of what they face. I mean, the internet is such a vast resource for good, for bad, but there's so many ways that you can find out what your spouse is dealing with, even if you don't know a lot about their job. I mean, you've got to become educated on what your spouse is facing every day. And if you are an unfaithful spouse, well, listen, it's pretty easy. Realize that they deal with anywhere from 50 or 60 to 100 or so different reminders every single day if you're early on in recovery. Realize that they are constantly comparing themselves to the affair partner. And incidentally, one of the best ways to combat that is maybe flowers, I don't know, maybe a gift, maybe just a card, maybe an email, something that says, and I said this to Samantha all the time, and I only say it every now and then right now, but I used to say it a lot is, excuse me, I would say, I don't want to be anywhere but where I am at right now. I don't want anybody else. You are exactly what I want, what I need, and what I don't deserve. I would write that all the time. Early on, she would come back with, well, you should. Yes, early on, painful. But now, it encourages her. It ministers to her. It means a lot. Number two is anticipate what your spouse has been dealing with all day. You can be an emotionally intelligent spouse when you say, I'm sure your day was probably, or I'm sure you probably had to deal with. I think as you anticipate what they may have been facing all day, you can connect with them. You can be intimate with them. You can be emotionally intelligent about what they are probably dealing with every day. Number three, run away from self-absorption. I'm just telling you, early on in my recovery, I was so concerned and so consumed with me and what I was facing and what I had lost and what I had given up and what I had failed at and what I had blown and what I had compromised and what I had done to so many people. But you know what would have been a lot easier and a lot better would have been to be more concerned with what Samantha was dealing with and what Samantha was facing and what Samantha was experiencing. If I had become more concerned and more consumed with what my choices had done to her, it would have paid incredible dividends because I would have been far more emotionally intelligent about what she was facing, which would then help us connect, which would then help her feel safer because I was becoming more aware with her pain and less consumed with my junk. Number four, this is one of the best advice moments I ever received. Remind yourself or get a better idea or give credence to or just remember what it's like to live with you. I know I am moody. I drink a lot of coffee. I'm not afraid of bourbon or whiskey. I can be loud. I can be up 1 minute, down the next. I can get very verbal or I can just shut down. I can be a complete fiasco. Even my daughter the other day was like, dude, like enough. Like you're singing, doing the dishes, and you're poking at me, and she just comically was getting frustrated. But I know that my mood swings can go like this on any given day or phone call or moment or business deal or transaction or parenting moment or baseball game. God forbid you watch me during a game when my son is pitching. I just got thrown out of a game last week. True story. And so give credence to the fact of what a fiasco it must be to live with you. Yes, magnify your weaknesses, your mood swings, your challenges, because as you see them, you are then more connected with what your spouse is probably dealing with and has to face on a daily basis, and it just produces humility. And we could all use a dose of humility. I think when I began to get a better idea of who Samantha was and is, and how she had to deal with who I was and who I am, it really helped me. Because I can be difficult to live with. I just know that. Samantha's world right now is, I'm very passionate, want to have sex a lot, can be moody, can be controlling at times, can be aggressive, I drive too fast sometimes, I get too loud, I can be, just kind of like that at times. And it's helped me understand how she can feel, because she's not like that. She drives controlling. She faces a lot with the kids and with her own job. And man, our worlds collide. So as I realize how difficult I can be, it's not self-loathing, it's awareness. It's emotional intelligence. Finally, take a break from you. It's going to seem weird. I'm not trying to get new agey or what have you. I'm just trying to tell you, sometimes it's good to take a break from being consumed with who you are or what you are feeling or what you are facing. Sometimes it's good to say, man, I'm going to stop thinking about myself so much in this situation, in that situation, in this phone call, in this text, in this difficult moment or whatever, or even being physically intimate with your spouse. Maybe it's good sometimes to just go, man, I'm going to just stop focusing on me and focus on them. Because as I take the attention off myself and become so less of a self-absorbed jerk, it frees me up to care for my spouse in a way that they will feel safe, secure, and loved.